All right. Okay. Here we go. Here we fucking go. I'm about to teach Happy Chaos players how to actually play Happy Chaos. Look, I know this shit is fun. I know it's fucking fun, but it's not really that fucking fun. Like, if you do that the whole game, nothing else, then you're like cheating yourself out of this whole fucking crazy ass character. It's very annoying to fight Happy Chaos players, and as a Chaos player, and to see them not do anything else but steady aim. It has to be the most annoying shit ever. I don't understand it. I'm not sure where the mentality is coming from here. It's fucking annoying. It's the worst experience ever. It has to be up there with fighting Leo sometimes. Waking up DPing every 3 seconds, like you can't tell when he's actually gonna play the game or when he's gonna just refuse to play the game. Alright, this video is for 3 types of people. 1, you want to play Happy Chaos and you don't know where to start. 2, for people that play Happy Chaos and don't do anything else but steady aim. This is also for you. And then 3, people that want to fight Happy Chaos and just get annoyed as fuck and they want to know what the hell is going on. Like, what is he actually doing? What is his game plan? I will help you. I'll help you the best I fucking can with what I know. The number one thing you need to keep in mind when you're playing Happy Chaos, when you're fighting against Happy Chaos, he can do everything whenever you need him to do it. So I'm gonna just go through all of his regular moves, and then we're gonna go into his special moves, and then we're gonna go into his super moves like Deus Ex Machina and everything. So let's just start with the punches. So you have his jumping punch here, you have his standing punch, his crouching punch, and then you have his forward punch. Then you have his jumping kick, standing kick. Oh, I'm sorry. You have his jumping kick, down kick in the air, 2K. That's 2K. We'll get into that later. That you don't see it as often, but it's a really good fucking move. Then you have his crouching kick, and then you have his forward kick. One of the god buttons right here. This shit is fucking beautiful. I don't know why. I don't know why it does what it does, but it just works. And now we're gonna go into his slash moves. You have his close slash, you have his far slash, you have his crouching slash over here, and then you have his jumping slash, right? And then my favorite, this right here. That shit is fucking beautiful. Forward slash, beautiful. You're gonna be using that a lot, because that's, yes, you're gonna be using that a whole hell of a lot. And then you have his dust move. You have his standing dust, that's charged, that's not charged. Then you have his crouching dust, really fucking good if you want to get a counter hit. Oh my god, look at the range. That's really fucking cool. And then you have his jumping dust. Looks like nothing now, but when you do this, oh man, it's fucking beautiful. And last we'll go into his throw. Throw is pretty good. It kicks them away. Right afterwards, you can reload. At a certain part of the animation, you can reload. You can press curse. You can do that right after, as they're getting up off the ground. You can do that, focus up, and look at the distance they're at. They're at a safe enough distance where you can do that. If you're in the corner though, and you just happen to throw somebody, like you don't want to. The one thing you want to do is reload and try to reset them. Like if they have a DP, you want to fucking, and just to throw them off. Sometimes you can do that. Now we're gonna go into all of Chaos's special moves here. All right, we're gonna start off with Curse. Curse is for his gun. The reticle pops up and it zooms right in on the character faster when it's on. Because without it, it takes a second. Then we're gonna go into At the Ready. At the Ready is this little uppercut move that he does with his gun, and it actually hits at a range that's pretty damn good. You can shoot right after this, and it's pretty fucking cool. It's really fucking good to throw people off with this, and then like delay it into his At the Ready, because that sometimes catches people. That can get a heavy counter hit, and you can do a cool ass combo right after it, especially in the corner when they don't want to be in the corner, because Chaos can wall break from anywhere. So yeah, let me go into the next set of moves here. Then we have steady aim. Alright, so then we have Scapegoat. And if you've noticed, Scapegoat, when he uses it, every time he uses it, he loses health. Look at that. So you don't want to use this all the time. This is a move that you use if you're trying to call somebody out and like confuse them. Because, fun fact, this counts as a whole entire body in front of your opponent. If they dash at you, yeah, they're gonna have to jump over this. And if they hit you, you can just stand in the clone and actually just like take a hit and just hit them back. It's really fucking good. Let me see if I can tell Leo to do something. You see that? The clone just takes the full hit. That can work. There's other spacings this can work too. Let me see if I can do this right. You can also do stuff like, let me see, Leo, can you? Like, that wasn't a counter hit because Leo was finished moving, but there's different ways you can do it. There's another way where, let me just tell Leo to do something else too. Let me get this range correct. Here we go. Let me put it right here, and let's see. Did you see that? Do you see that? Like, the clone took the whole hit, and I just ran through all of that. The only way that they could have gotten out is if Leo were to Roman cancel backwards after that, knowing like, oh shit, like I just hit the clone by accident instead of Chaos, right? I was trying to hit him. It's fucking wild. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. Stuff like that. Space the clone and make sure you get the best use out of it, because it will save you in ways that you will not even understand. You won't even understand what the hell happened. You just know that the Scapegoat saved you, and you can get a free combo sometimes. So that move should be your go-to when you're in trouble. All right, it throws people off a lot. All right, so next up is roll. This move is pretty good if you want to throw somebody off and like run at them, and then you know you gotta space this too, because sometimes people can throw that shit. Sometimes people, if they're looking for it, they'll just mash punch and they'll get out of it if they can read that. So yeah, be careful when you use roll. You are very vulnerable. Sometimes that can help because sometimes players won't see that coming and you can go for a quick throw. For players that are trying to fight Happy Chaos and they suddenly do a roll in front of you, make sure if he's close to you, run up a little bit, like kind of time a little bit, like run a dash up, throw. You're gonna want to stay on your toes if you see this move. If you ever see this move without a reticle on you, hit him. Okay, do your best to react to that and hit him or throw him. If you do have curse on and he's doing roll, please do not try to fucking mash a button when this happens to you. Hold up. Like, don't let, like, just block that. Sometimes it is very hard to tell when Chaos is gonna actually fire. So if you don't see anything, you have to look for like micro movement, like little small movements that Chaos could go for something like this. Like, or it just totally avoid you altogether and go for a shot. He can do stuff like you shouldn't be running out of meter like that. Just pay attention to how much meter you have. Maybe you should focus up beforehand, which I'm going to get into focus right now. Like, I'm only using some small examples, but you have to pay attention to where Chaos is going and where that reticle is on you. Alright, we're going to talk about focus. Alright, so focus is what you need when you run out of when you're running out of energy. You have to charge that back up. Make sure your opponent is not near you. If you're a fucking animal, you could just fucking do this right in front of somebody and catch them off guard with a throw if you really want to do that shit. I wouldn't recommend it because sometimes they get you killed. So it's got me killed a few times because somebody saw me do that and they reacted and I didn't know they were going to react. I felt I could get away with some shit and I died. Focus is the move you want to use when you want to replenish your resources. You want to replenish your concentration meter. As you can see, it's orange right now because it costs less meter to use your gunshots, because without it, if you look here, it's more meter to use the gunshots. Alright, so focus, you want to use focus to replenish your resources. Right now it's orange because when it's orange, he actually doesn't use as much energy as when he doesn't have focus on. When he doesn't have focus on, he starts shooting. Look at that, like I'm already, like I couldn't get an extra shot off because I'm running out of energy now. Concentration is everything. You need to refill on your concentration or make sure that you can fight without it for a time, because without it, you can't use the gun. When he runs out of energy, look at this. He starts fucking up. When you're like this, that's a counter hit. You will die. You will fucking die. Do not put yourself in that situation. Always have energy. once you hit somebody, use focus. Once you hit them away from you, use focus. Once they're at a safe distance, use focus just to replenish that, just so you don't run out of energy and you have some energy left over in case you need it in the middle of fighting. So next we're gonna talk about reload. Reload, it's fucking great. It's cool as shit because you can actually just cancel any move in the middle of the animation of reload. You see that? Yeah, so that throws people off sometimes because they're like, oh shit, he reloaded, and you're like, nope, it's not your turn yet. You poke him low, you knock him down, you do something like this, and then you're like, ooh, like stuff like that. That's what you want to use reload for. If you're in the corner, let me show you something you can do in the corner too. Say you threw somebody, you reloaded, you just went for a meaty right after that, and sometimes that catches people, and you can go into a full combo from there. But we're not doing combos just yet. We're just gonna go through all his moves. So I should have covered most of his moves, and now we're gonna go into the super moves, like this one here, super focus. All right, so super focus, it's basically, it's really just focus on steroids. Jesus, it's fucking wild. Okay, so not only does he waste less meter when he's using concentration for like bullets, he also it's really fucking stupid. He can just keep going with his shots. Let me see if I can just show you an example because this is fucking wild. All right, so say you knock them away, you're doing this, you're being like, you can do this, you can cancel steady aim and into the gunshot, into steady aim again. You're just being a total dickhead, right? Let's just say you're being a total asshole, right? If you really want to, you can get a shot in, do this, and you can juggle doing shit like that. It is sometimes you have to be in the zone sometimes to do this because you might mess up the input sometimes, but when you get it right in the middle of a fight, you could do shit like, let me see if I can do this correctly the first try. I might not. There it is. So right there, that's the kind of shit you can do, and you can also shoot when they're on the ground too. Like just in case they're low, really low in health, and one hit can kill them. You can do that with Deus Ex Machina. It's really fucked up. I did it once before. It was pretty funny, but it was so stupid. Don't ask me how long it took me just to do that, because the timing is kind of tight sometimes, depending on like how fast your hands can move. It's actually easier to do in the middle of a fight, maybe, because you're more focused. I'm just trying to use an example here. I don't know. I'm just fucking up. And now we have Deus Ex Machina. This move is so fucking cool. Wherever you are, those bullets will just like rain down on you. It doesn't matter where you are on the screen, he will always lock on. He actually points in every direction where you are. He points up too. It doesn't happen all the time. Let me see if I can do the one where he points up. Do you see that? Look at that shit. The only fucking problem this move has is that you can get hit. You can get hit right before the move comes out. Like, look at this delay right here. Right there. If you hit him right when he's like that, like right before the move comes out, right there, right around there before the bullets come out, you can hit him. It happens, it's very rare, because most times Chaos, you don't want to use that unless you get the combo. You really don't want to just use that straight up, unless you're testing the opponent's patience, like to block all the gunshots. But yeah, just make sure you're not really close to your opponent. They can hit you if they time their punch or any fast normal at the right timing. So last, I'm gonna go over his jumping punch and his jumping kicks here. You might not see them often, but they are actually very useful. If you want to catch somebody slipping in the air and you hit them, you can get some cool gun combos off of that. So let me just tell Lero to jump real quick. And then you can also do something like that too. There's different combinations. You just need to be aware of the spacing, where you are on the screen. Let me see if I can do another one. Let me see if I can do this one. Yeah, that's one too. There we go. That's something you can do as well. Let me see if I can do this one too. That's wrong. That's one you can do as well. There's different combinations you can do. Like you can make shit up, and as long as you know the spacing, as long as you know the range of all your moves, how high up they hit, you will be fine. And then you have his jumping punch. Jumping punch you can also use as well. This takes a little bit of timing to get used to. It might be easier on fight stick to do this, but when you use punch, you have to call people out. You have to call people out with this. If you saw, I was trying to use steady aim because there is a combo you can do if you catch people slipping in the air. This move, it doesn't hit where you think it would. Like you have to actually time this as you're going up in the air, because you can whiff in certain angles. Depending on the character you're fighting, you will hit and miss sometimes. It's really weird. I don't know the frame data on this shit. I really don't, so you're gonna have to go to Dust Loop for that. So stuff that you can do, kind of like the kicks, a little different though. I mean, you could also, let me see if you can, oh, I missed completely. Yeah, see, you can do stuff like that with the kicks too. The punches, you're gonna have to, it's a similar thing. You want to use the gun as soon as you make contact with your opponent, block or hit, on hit or on block. It doesn't matter. The gun will automatically focus as soon as you make contact, physical contact with your opponent. That's what makes him so fucking cool for combos, because all different types of routes you can do with all of his normal regular moves, with all of his special moves, and all of his gunshots. It's really fucking cool to look at if you know what you're doing, if you know what combination you want to go for in whatever given moment. That's another one too. So now we're going to talk about the last air move here. I'm not going to talk about jumping slash. This is kind of self-explanatory. You use this when you're jumping it. Now you have jumping 2K. This right here, you see that? He jumps over the opponent. He's like hopping on top of the opponent just to get onto the other side. You need to know the spacing for this, okay? You can get some good counter hits with this move because somebody won't see that coming, and they'll get counter hit sometimes. Pressing a button, seeing you flying right at them, because of the delay of the move, it just kind of boop, and it just goes right over you. Like, see that angle I hit them at? Like, it's fucking crazy. If you can time that correctly, you can do some dirty shit. Remember when I told you can use the gun after after making contact with the opponent? Oh my god. So you could do, oh, I missed just now. I fucking suck. Let me do that again. If you delay it, if they're not paying attention, there was a short delay. They probably could have pressed a button. You gotta space this move. See that? It takes a little bit of timing, but once you get that rhythm going with the gunshots and the and all of his regular moves, you can do stuff like that. It's really cool shit. You could have actually done the fucking wall break. That's another version of it, but I messed the spacing up. See, you gotta be mindful of where you are. Yep, I fucked it up. There's a way to do it, and I'm messing it up. Yeah, I think that would have wall broken if I was in the corner. Let me try it again. Excuse me. Yeah, that's one way to do it. There's different ways to do it. You'll get the hang of it the more that you mess around with the gunshots and where you are on the screen and all that other stuff, like I say, or like I've said this whole time. You just gotta need to know the spacing. Alright, so jumping 2K works very well with jumping dust. You'd be wondering, like, who uses jumping dust? I've only seen it a good handful of times. I barely see jumping dust used. I've been using it a lot more recently because I've been getting better at spacing everything with chaos. Now, here's how this works. I might not get this right in the first try, but yep, I didn't get it right in the first try. Let me see if I can do it again. Nope. You see that? I didn't do that right this time, but you see that? If you have to space that shit, you have to keep in mind how close you are to the opponent before you do something like that. It's best to do that if you knock down the opponent. You want to do something like that. That'll sometimes catch people off guard. because they'll think like maybe his foot isn't gonna reach that far. It goes pretty far. That shit goes pretty far. Especially if somebody presses a move at the wrong time and they get countered, you can go in and do a little combo and then reset them. And I didn't do that right at all, but you can do some cool shit when you get a counter hit with that. Let me see if I can just force counter hit just so I can show you what I'm talking about here. So I told Leo to do standing punch on wake up just so I could show an example. So when I knock him down, I'm gonna jump around him. I delayed it just in case, like, you know, say if Leo tried to press another button, you could delay some moves and get some cool counter hits off of some stuff if they think you just fucked up and you really didn't, you just wanted to get another meaty hit in. So I told Leo to get up and press standing punch, just any move, it doesn't really matter. Knocking him down, and if I use jumping dust, if I time it wrong, like I just did, you're gonna get hit. But if I time it correctly, oops. That should work. You have to time that. I'm gonna get into what I was trying to do just now. That's very hard to fucking do. Alright, there we go. So that gets easier to do once again. As you play Chaos more, you'll figure out the timing, when to use that properly. You'll get some cool ass counter hits. That's just one example of a counter hit you can do with. One thing to note about jump dust, sometimes this move will come out, and maybe this happens to other players as well. You'll press throw at the right time, but instead of throw, you might get jumping dust because you're moving too fast, or maybe, I don't know, maybe it didn't register the input. That happens sometimes. It happens to me often when I go for an air throw, and then I end up getting this, and I see it happening, and then I die. Another thing to note about jump dust is sometimes, depending on what you're doing, he'll like, let me see if I can do this. I just did it before. You see that? Like, that's really weird. I don't really know what the point of doing that is, unless you want to style on your opponent. But that's just a fun thing he can do. You need to time that. I have gotten that wrong several times. Other times he'll just do it, and I'll be fighting like let's say Milia dashes around you, and they just happen to. Sometimes he actually will still use the kick in the right direction. It's very weird. I wouldn't try to fucking mess around with jumping dust in the air too much because it can get you killed. Because if he whiffs, he's just open. But that's some cool shit you can do with it. That's only one example. I don't know other examples because I do not use this move unless it's to cross somebody up when they're getting up off the ground. So now we've reached the fun part, doing combos. Now, Chaos can Gatling some cool ass moves together, alright? Let me start with standing slash. You see that? That's very basic to do. Actually, it's very easy to do once you get used to the timing of like the guns and everything. But what I'm doing is I'm making contact with the opponent, and on the second hit, I'm actually going right to one move after the next. So it's kind of like you have to tap right when you do the second move, or any move actually. Any move that leads into the reticle appearing on the enemy, you can shoot, and then you can hold the button down. I did not talk about this earlier. You can hold the button down. So if I'm holding it right now, you let go, he shoots. So that's really good if you want to do some combos with his gun and you need to get a specific timing. You're like, all right here, this frame, go. And then you just do this whole combination of moves that you wouldn't be able to do otherwise. Like, it's really cool shit. It lets you have as much fun as you want with the gunshots and his other moves, and it's great. It's fucking fun. Let me use an example of this with a delayed gunshot here. So let me start with this one first. You have to dash. You have to micro dash when you do that. So there's a slight timing you need. I'll slow it down so you can see what's happening. Once you get the timing down, you can do cool shit like that. Yeah, that takes a lot of timing. Once you get used to that, it gets easier. I was fucking that up a lot. I didn't probably put those mess ups in, but I'm messing it up a lot. It took me a lot of tries just to get some of those down. And it gets hard to do, but once you get used to it, again, you'll get used to stuff like that. Those different little variations of the gun cancel stuff, there's different ones that you can mess around with in training mode, but that's the kind of shit that you can do when you get used to the rhythm of how to use the guns and the timing of like when to use, hold it down, let go, and then you get a combo there. You could do something else that's, I think, a lot more optimal in my opinion if you just... Oh, I'm sorry. But you could do that, reload, and then also, you know, use focus if you want, or just use focus or reload, mix and match it, get crazy with it. Let me show you one more you can do. Oh, I fucked that up, but you can kind of see where I'm going for with that, right? Another thing that Chaos can do, and you might not see this often, this is gonna be one of the most important things I tell you about Happy Chaos. This, you don't see this often enough, but he can cancel different normals together. Happy Chaos players might know this, but a lot of y'all probably don't fucking do anything else other than study aim anyway, so I'm gonna tell everybody else about this. So what I mean is, this is gonna look delayed, it's not gonna count as a combo, but it can catch somebody slipping. This is an example. Right there, this one, he could do shit like that. That's something you're gonna have to keep in mind while you're fighting him. So if you try to press a button because you know, like, they're delaying shit, like, no, be careful, be very fucking careful, that's dangerous. Like, that can catch somebody slipping. That can catch somebody slipping. And once you get this move, you know what happens when people do this. Like, you've seen this. You've definitely seen that before. So you don't want to get caught by anything like that. So keep that in mind. This means he could go for something else right after. Let me just show you the different combinations that he can pull off. Those are just some examples of stuff he can do with his Gatling cancels, with his regular moves. Now, there's other stuff you can do that's crazier. Like you can also hold down the gun and use different combination of moves, put it away, do shit like this, go for some dumb shit. That's one of my favorite ones, actually. I fucking love the roll with the gun. That shit is so fucking cool. So that's, I think, about it for what I'm gonna show for the stuff you can do with Happy Chaos. Just stuff that people who are new to Chaos too, like how do you get good with Chaos, stuff like that. That's stuff you need to be aware of. That's what this video is for. There's other moves that he has other than steady aim. I mean, that's obvious, but a lot of Chaos players do not fucking do it. I don't know fucking why. Because he has a whole entire moveset that you need to fucking use, and I don't understand how people just get by using nothing but focus and super focus and all the fucking bull. Like, you know, yeah, I don't even need to. I'm gonna I'm gonna fucking lose my mind if I start to talk about it. So that's it. I just needed to show people that there's more going on for Chaos. There's other combos that I could go in depth and talk about all the different routes and shit, but maybe I'll just make another video about that. I might not. Don't hold me to that shit. I might totally fucking forget I said that. There's so much going on with this character. You can just have fun and just fight with the gun, fight without it. Like, there's all kinds of shit you can just do with this character and just fucking around, man. Like approaching people with the gun, reloading, doing shit like this. You see that? I mean, I wasted a lot of resources doing that, but if you know how to play neutral, shit like that, oh man, it's fucking crazy. It's fucking wild. Go out there, play Happy Chaos, have fun, stop using steady aim all the fucking time. Like, it has to get boring at some point, right? Like, for some of y'all, probably not, because y'all like to troll people, but Jesus, man, I can't use that move forever. I can't rely on this shit forever. At some point, I'm gonna need to know how to block and use all his other attacks. I'm just gonna add this in here at the end here. For those of you that are so worried about like Happy Chaos players actually knowing how to block, don't worry about this shit, because Happy Chaos players cannot block for shit. Okay, they're hiding behind steady aim. Once you get past steady aim, they don't know what the fuck to do. They'll start backdashing and shit. Most of them just don't worry about that shit. Okay, you'll be fine. They're probably gonna nerf Happy Chaos into the fucking ground with his meter and his bullets, so be careful. We're getting away with this shit now, but we might not be able to get away with it later. Alright, so that's it for the video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, that'd be awesome. And comment down below anything I missed about Chaos, anything that I did not talk about. I probably missed a ton of shit. I probably did, my bad. But if I did, post it down in the comments below. So anybody that's new to Chaos, anybody that has trouble fighting Chaos, if there's anything that they need to be aware of, post that in the comments. Post paragraphs if you need to, just to help somebody out, whoever finds the video. So that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.